For the vertex goes through the axis of symmetry, and it's about time that I tell you that there's actually a formula to find the axis of symmetry. This formula comes from the quadratic formula. In the quadratic formula, we have x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Using this formula, you can see that there's going to be two answers for x. There's going to be an answer for x when we add this amount. x1 equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac. Oh, not plus or minus. The first answer comes from whenever we're going to add this. The second answer comes from whenever we're going to subtract it. So that's how we get our two answers for x. And those x's are the roots. Those are the roots. So that means if I graph the parabola, it's going to have two x-intercepts somewhere. One of them is going to be x1, the other one is going to be x2. They can be anywhere. How you find the axis of symmetry is, if we want to find exactly what's in the middle of these two things, then we need the axis of symmetry is the midpoint between the roots. So if I add these two x's, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, if I were to add them, that'd be negative b plus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, and then I would add to that negative b minus square root, if this one is plus, the other one needs to be minus, b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, and then I would divide all of that by 2. And what this is all equal to is negative b plus square root b squared minus 4ac plus negative b minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Since both of them had 2a on the bottom, I just combined them both to be one fraction. And then with this, we can see that we have, we have plus square root b squared minus 4ac, and we have minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Since I have the positive version and the negative version of that square root, they're going to cancel each other out. And then I have a negative b plus negative b, so that's going to equal, well, let me finish this one thing. I didn't put that divided by 2. Divided by 2. So this is going to be equal to negative b minus b divided by 2a divided by 2. So that's negative 2b divided by 2a divided by 2. So we have a fraction divided by a fraction. We can reduce the first fraction. I have a 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. And then I have negative b divided by a divided by 2. So that's really negative b. That's really negative b divided by a times 1/2. Because if we're dividing by 2, then that means we're multiplying by the reciprocal, which gives us negative b divided by 2a. This is the x for the vertex. That was a really long explanation for it, and this is a formula on your Algebra 1 formula chart. I just wanted you to see where it came from. It's from adding together the two roots from the quadratic formula and then dividing them by 2. So we don't need any of this work. That's just to prove it to you where this formula comes from. So if I'm going to find the axis of symmetry, x is equal to negative b divided by 2a. That's our big formula. So then we're going to plug in negative 12 divided by 2 times negative 3 equals 12 over 6. So then this x equals 2. 12 over negative 6, so this x is going to be negative 2. I forgot about the negative on the 3. So if that's the axis of symmetry's x, then that's also the vertex. The vertex is going to have negative 2, and then we need to figure out what the y is. Y equals, we're going to plug in that x for the vertex. Negative 2 squared minus 12x plus 3. Oh, we're not using x. Negative 12 times negative 2 plus 3. Negative 3 times 4 minus, actually plus 24 plus 3. Negative 12 plus 24 plus 3. 27 minus 12 equals 15. So we found the vertex, and then the last thing we need to do is find the axis of symmetry.